Well, meanwhile, the German Chancellor Angela Merkel and state leaders there are expected today to extend a shutdown in Europe's top economy as coronavirus deaths continue to mount despite tough restrictions in the run-up to the holidays. Daily deaths there surpassed the 1,000 mark for the first time at the end of last year, with Merkel and the premiers of Germany's 16 states due to meet later set to extend the current partial lockdown beyond the January the 10th date already planned. Well, let's cross then to Berlin. We're going to speak to our correspondent, Nick Spicer, who joins us from there. Nick, tell us about the possibilities then. What could come out of this today?
Well, it's widely expected. As you were saying, the measures in place now will be extended until at least January the 31st. Those measures include schools are shut, non-essential shops are shut, you have to wear a mask in public transport. There's a variation according to the region, which has been a part of the problem in terms of cracking down against the spread of the coronavirus in Germany. But Angela Merkel, in her New Year's Eve message, said Germans should be getting prepared for a long and difficult winter. And the data that they're all waiting for is what's going to happen somewhat paradoxically, after everybody has gathered for Christmas and New Year's Eve. Those two events were highly, let's say, restricted. People were told to not gather in larger groups and, X number of families. The sale of alcohol was limited in certain regions at certain times in order to prevent people from gathering and spreading the virus. But we'll really know mid-January if there is a big spike because of Christmas and New Year's, essentially, and whether or not the measures need to be extended beyond January the 1st, which is the widespread expectation. The federal health minister says new measures are necessary, and the leader of the worst stricken region, which is Saxony, says they are unavoidable. So we can expect the announcement later today, I think.
And Nick, at the same time, there's much anger there about what people see as the slow rollout of the vaccine programme.
Certainly consternation, because the world's first vaccine, let's not forget, was invented in Germany by a Turkish-German couple. And there's been a lot of questions as to why we had to wait in Germany for other European countries for a Europe-wide rollout when it was invented here. Of course, it's produced largely in Belgium. And the government has said, we've focused on getting people vaccinated in senior citizens' homes. There are 400 vaccination centers, which looks like, like army tents in certain places, which can really receive large numbers of people. But the priority was to get the people who are most at risk, and that involved deploying mobile teams to the homes where the elderly people were residing and giving them the injections. But they're not hitting the targets that they announced for themselves. There was supposed to be 1.3 million people vaccinated by the end of the year. That didn't happen. The government has said, however, it has ordered enough vaccines for the entire population. The debate now is whether or not, how we have to get 2 shots to get vaccinated against coronavirus, usually, whether or not you can extend the period of 2 weeks, which is prescribed for the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, so you can inoculate more people with the first jab in order to stop the spread of the virus. The inventors of the vaccine say that's not been proven yet, but that is where the debate is at now. Just a measure of the public's consternation at what is a relatively slow rollout, not as slow as in some countries, but slow for Germany and certainly lower than expectations.
Nick, thanks very much. Nick Spicer, our correspondent, joining us there from Berlin.